This is the BISSELL air280 Smart Air Purifier. It makes the air feel lighter and cleaner without turning the room into a white noise zone, and that is the part that immediately surprised me. I think of this as a home purifier for people who want real filtration with almost zero fuss. I have allergies and I cook a lot, and I live with a shedding dog, so cleaner air is not a nice to have for me. It is the difference between a comfortable space and a space I want to leave. The air280 fits that use case where I set it down in a bedroom, a living room, or a home office, press one button, and rely on it to do the thinking in the background. The design is simple in the best way. It is not tiny. It is roughly 2 feet tall and takes up about as much floor space as a compact side table. The shape is clean and it blends in next to a sofa or at the end of a media console. Air comes in low and exits high, so I can tuck it near a wall without worrying that I am choking the intake. The control panel is minimal, with a power button and 2 buttons that nudge the fan speed up or down. There is a small indicator for the filter that lights up when it is time for a replacement. There is also an air quality indicator light that changes based on what the sensor is reading, but it only comes to life when the purifier is in automatic mode. The top surface is flat enough that it can collect the usual keys and mail if I am not careful, which I learned quickly, so I make a point to keep the top clear so air can flow freely. Setup is the part that sold me on the ease of use. I opened the bottom hatch, pulled the filter out, took off the plastic bag, and slid it back in. The only detail that matters is this sticker side-up rule. The filter literally tells me which way is up. If I ignore that, the fit is off and performance takes a hit, so I always check the sticker before I close the hatch. After that, I plugged it in, pressed power, and it came up in automatic mode on its own. No pairing, no registration wall, no app to learn. If I want manual control, I tap the plus or minus buttons to step through 5 fan speeds. If I have pushed it all the way to the top and want to go back to automatic, I press the minus button a few times until the automatic light returns. It is not fancy, but the simplicity makes it hard to mess up. Day to day, the performance is what I care about. The claims are strong. BISSELL says it can cycle through about 1,350 square feet of air in 1 hour. In my testing, what matters more is the recommended room size of around 280 square feet, which is a typical bedroom or home office. In that kind of room, the automatic mode keeps the fan whisper quiet most of the time. On the lowest speed, the sound sits around 31 decibels. In a silent room at night, I hear a soft whoosh that is easy to sleep through. When it senses a spike, it ramps up, cleans, then dials back down so it does not drone on longer than it needs to. I ran a few practical tests. I closed the windows in my bedroom, let the purifier run in automatic mode, and went to sleep. I usually wake up with a dry throat during allergy season. With this running overnight for the past week, that scratchy feeling has been reduced. There is still pollen outdoors, so I'm not claiming miracles, but the difference is noticeable. The other place I see it is dust. The nightstand used to show a light film in a couple of days. With the purifier running during the evenings, I am wiping less often. Cooking is a tougher test. I seared a steak in a cast iron skillet and purposely left the door to the next room open where the purifier was running. In about 2 minutes, the air quality light shifted and the fan stepped up on its own. The smoky smell cleared to a neutral level in about 15 minutes, and then the fan tapered back down. For strong lingering odors like fish, I set the fan 2 steps above automatic for a half hour. That manual bump makes a difference, and then I leave it to return to automatic. Pet hair and dander are the slow burn factors in my place. I brush my dog, but fur tumbleweeds still happen. The high-efficiency particulate air filter and the activated carbon layer make a practical difference here. After a few days of consistent use, the room air smells like nothing, which is exactly what I want, and the tissues next to the couch are not working overtime. When I opened the purifier to check the filter a week in, I could already see a fine dust layer caught in the pre-filter. It is a little gross and a little satisfying. I also tried a simple candle test. I blew out a candle about 6 feet away and watched the purifier while the smoky plume drifted. The air quality indicator light changed and the fan stepped up within a minute. The visible haze in the air was gone in a few minutes. It is not a lab test, but it lines up with how I feel in the room. Noise is always the trade-off with purifiers. On speeds 1 and 2, it is bedroom-friendly. On speed 3 and above, it becomes audible in a quiet room, but the tone is smooth. There is no whining or rattling. If I am watching a movie, I leave it in automatic so it quiets down once the air clears. For home office use, I keep it near the corner of the room behind me so the airflow and sound are out of the microphone pickup path, and it works fine for calls. There are a few quirks. The air quality indicator only works in automatic mode, so if I am in manual speed control, I lose that immediate visual feedback. I wish I could keep the indicator visible all the time. The step-by-step speed control with plus and minus is simple, but it does mean a few extra taps if I have overshot the speed I want. The indicator lights are tasteful, but in a completely dark bedroom I notice any glow. I ended up placing the purifier a few feet away from the bed, so the light does not sit in my peripheral vision. The size is also something to plan for. It is not going under a desk. It needs a small patch of floor and some breathing room around it. That is the trade-off for stronger airflow. One thing I appreciate is the way automatic mode behaves. It is conservative when the air is already clean, then assertive when the sensor detects a change. I do not have to babysit it. I also like the filter change indicator because I am not counting months or hours. I just wait for the light and then swap. The actual filter replacement is quick. Open, lift out, sticker side up close. No tools, no alignment guessing. Over a week of real use, a pattern emerged. In a medium bedroom of around 250 to 300 square feet, automatic mode keeps the room neutral. I sleep through it easily. In a larger open living room, the purifier still helps, but I get the best results by running it a notch or two above automatic for a half hour after cooking or when a window has been open. During a high pollen day, I brought it into the home office and parked it near the door, and my sinuses felt less angry by mid-afternoon. It is not a cure for allergies, but it reduces the background irritants that wear me down. So who is this for? If you want an air purifier that looks like furniture rather than a gadget, that is quiet enough to live with, and that does not require an app or a learning curve, this is a strong option. It is a better fit for bedrooms, living rooms, and family spaces than it is for tiny dorm rooms or cramped studio apartments. If you need the smallest footprint on a desk, this is not that. If you want a set it and forget it machine with a reliable automatic mode, a clear filter change reminder, and filtration that takes care of both particles and odors, I can recommend it with confidence. This is the BISSELL air280 Smart Air Purifier. It earns its space by being calm, consistent, and easy to trust. If that matches what you want from cleaner air at home, it is worth a serious look. If this video helped, please subscribe to the channel and drop a comment with your questions or your own experience with home air purifiers. Thank you for watching.